Okay, I'm back. So it's starting to get a little darker out there now. It's only 3:30. So YouTube changed again. I'm sure you've noticed it. You go to the video feed now, and not everything's there. They've separated the shorts, which I absolutely hate. They have them separate, and they've also separated the live streams. So they're on three different locations now. So you go to the videos tab, and not all the videos are there. So that kind of messed up my system, where I check for new videos every day. So I had to update the coding on my pages, my internal website. This is going to get too long as it is, so I'm not going to explain, but some of you know I run a web server inside my computer that handles all my daily work, and it saves me a lot of work. But every time YouTube changes their pages, I have to update. So I did that, and rather than just doing that, that really wasn't too difficult. I just got to look at YouTube's page coding and just compensate my coding to deal with their changes. It's not that difficult. But at the same time, I decided to update the pages that introduce new videos to my database. Yeah, because there's still things that I had to do manually before I put them through. So I have my downloader set to download MP4s only, because that's all my system deals with. That's all I take care of. But every once in a while an MKV or WEBM file will slip through, and that causes havoc. I don't always notice that. Sometimes I do. If I notice it, I'll have to convert it, and I'll put to the video converter program and convert it to an MP4 before I can put it in. But like I say, every once in a while it'll slip through. And there are other files that need to be processed separately too, like subtitle files and that. So I decided to recode those pages to detect these for me, so nothing can slip through. Well, at the same time, I also wanted to have these pages alert me if I introduce a file I already have. So after trying to use that cheap 16 terabyte drive, I moved a bunch of files improperly, manually, and messed up my database. So I had to start over and reprocess every file that I have, which is over 200,000. So the main reason I have to do that is because in order for me to get the actual file size, I have to move it. And that file size is important. It becomes part of the database because I explained earlier about the issues that I have trying to move a file that's over 4 gigabytes, or even get the actual size of a file that's over 4 gigabytes. It's difficult, and the best way for me to do that, and the only way I know how to do that, is to actually move that file to get the actual size. So the biggest reason I need the actual file size is I need to know what it is, so I know if there's enough room on the external hard drive where it's going to. Because you can't move a file that's going to a hard drive that's full, you'll lose that file, right? Without checking first to see if you can actually move it. Plus it could cause problems, it could corrupt files on that drive as it is, depending on, the safety that particular hard drive has set on it. So because of my mistake, I've discovered I have a lot of duplicates. And in some cases, triplicates if there's an MKV file involved. So, I don't know if I talk about this. No, I don't talk about this. So basically, I don't have, all my hard drives are not big enough to hold what I need to put on them. Everything gets sorted by date, and let's say a file from 2015 gets put onto the hard drive that holds the 2015 files. The problem is, if I have too many, then I gotta move some of those files to a hard drive that has space to make room for the newer videos that are coming in for that date. And then I run my maintenance program, which goes through the database and checks, make sure every file is accurate, and if it can't find a file, it looks through all these other places where I store files, and if it finds it, then it'll update its location in the database. So that file is always accessible to my system. It always knows where it is, but I have to run that maintenance file to actually find it. So then if I move the file and I download that again, then basically what happens is, if I have a duplicate, then it'll go through the system, and when it moves to that location, it'll just overwrite that file, and the file in the database will update as well. It'll just overwrite. Everything's good. The problem is, if I already have that file and I've moved it, then when I bring the new file in, it'll go to that location. It's not overwriting because that file's not there anymore. It's over here. So I'll have a second file, but the database will update to that new file. So that old file is now lost in space somewhere, inaccessible, and it doesn't know it's there. So I have a lot of those. I have a lot of duplicates, and a lot of files that were unknown to my system. So now that I have to update everything, in order to test everything, I had to completely empty out my database and start from scratch. But as I'm putting them in, I'm putting everything onto one hard drive as I'm going through the files, so all my duplicates are getting put into the same place, and that's where I'm finding out that I've got a lot of duplicates. So I'm getting rid of the duplicates that way. Now, there's another way of getting duplicates. People tend to change the file title of their videos. So if I have another file coming in, it's the same video, but it's got a different file name, because everything goes by file name, then it's not going to overwrite the old file because the file name is different. So I'll have duplicates that way. Same video under two different file names, right? I can't do anything about that. There is a way of doing it, because I can check the contents of the video, and I can compare it to the contents of a new coming video. So whether it's got the same name or a different name, that's fine. Then it'll know it's a duplicate. However, any file that's over 1 gigabyte, I shrink. So it's not going to detect that, right? Because it's the same video, same file name, different file name, whatever, but the contents are different because I shrunk the video. It's a lower bit rate. So it's not a perfect system. But for now, it'll get too complicated if I start doing all that. So I'm just going by file name, and my new coding will take care of that. Now, let me know if I'm trying to input a file that's I've already got, and once it goes through the renaming process, then it'll automatically separate that file and put it into my duplicates folder. And then once that renaming process is finished for all the other files, it'll give me a list of the files that were detected as duplicates and ask me what I want to do with them. So I've got that part set. But in order to test everything that I could come up with, I had to create a whole bunch of dummy files. So I got all these dummy files that I'm working, and it will cover anything I can encounter. But I had a limited time to do that because I had to have all this finished before the next day's new videos come in, because I couldn't get them combined with my dummy files. Because the dummy files were actual file names, and I wouldn't know which was which. So I had to have that all finished. And I worked all day on it. I worked all night on it. And that is why I missed that last nice day that we had at the, where I was going to go out and do another Autumn Colors tour. I missed that day because I was so busy on the computer, I had to have that finished. So, as usual, my coding didn't work right away. Never does. So, Ken told me he was told in school that if your page works first time around, you did something wrong. That's pretty much it, right? I get lucky once in a while. Things work out the way I planned right away, but for the most part, I always have issues that I gotta search for. But I was going crazy. I couldn't figure out what the issue was. Some of it would work, some of it wouldn't. Things were being detected properly, but they weren't getting moved to where they needed to get moved. And I got to the point where I needed to get some sleep. So I figured, I'll sleep on it. I'll check again when I get up. So I saved it for the next day, and I finally got it working. I had 4 hours left before I did the next day's search. So I got it working just in time. But it's just rebuilding my database now. It's going to take me months to get back to where I was. So that's where all my time's going right now. That's why I'm not having time to do really anything as far as getting to my comments and that. So I do see your comments, like I said before. When somebody comments on one of my videos, I get a notice from an email from YouTube that's got the comment in. I do see them right away. I can't comment through my phone. I can't type, these tiny little, I can't. And just having the time to actually go on to YouTube and go into my comments and I just don't have the time. So I will be talking about some of your comments here at the end of this, so I will get to some of them. So apparently that's what I'm doing now. I didn't read ahead here. So I am going to talk about some of the comments now. So somebody commented about my bolts getting stuck in the socket and saying I think I hold the world record for that or something. Well, I have 2 sockets here that still have the bolts in them. That's the nice thing about having more than one of the same size. I still haven't even tried to get those out yet. So I got other sockets that I use, so it hasn't been a priority. But they're still here. They're sitting here waiting. So that's actually kind of funny. I was asked about my welder, Mastercraft 120 volt flux core, and they're asking if it was two heat setting or 4 heat settings. 2. So I didn't actually know what you meant by that, but it's on mine. It's labeled as voltage, and there's 2 voltage settings. So I'm assuming that's what you mean. So it's 2. So I'm used to working with aluminum. When I built my bike trailer, I got really good at working with aluminum. I love working with aluminum. Steel is a little more difficult for me. But now that I have a welder, it's not so bad. I don't have to drill as many holes for bolts and that. But I don't know how to weld aluminum at this particular time, so I won't be doing that. But when I started dealing with the steel, I was quickly killing my drill bits. A brand new bit, and I'd destroy it in like the first 2 holes, right? I was overheating them, taking the temper out of them. So I did some research on how to actually drill steel properly, and I learned that you go slow, like a slow RPM at lots of pressure. And so the reason I was asked about this is asked if I use cutting oil. So I used to use the 3-in-1 oil, but from what I got from this, if you do it slowly with lots of pressure, You don't really need, if you do it right, you don't need cutting oil because the heat is dissipated with the pieces that are coming out. So that's the way I've been doing it. So when you see me drilling now, it sounds like the drill is really laboring. It doesn't have the power to do it. I'm purposely trying to keep the RPM down. So drilling slowly with a lot of pressure. And that's difficult for me because with my illness, it's really hard for me to push on the drill like that. But, you know, that's the way I gotta do it if I want to save my drill bits. So that answers that question. Regarding my visor, I was asked, how clear is it? It's good. It's got the main plastic viewing screen inside, and then this part here, it's automatic dimming. It's pretty good. I don't have an issue with it. I can see through it nicely. There's a little bit of a tint as it is, but I don't know. It's kind of a yellowish green tint, but it's good. But in my opinion, I don't know how well you can see through that. You can see the front door there. I don't know if this light's reflecting off it. I don't know. There's the door. You can actually see through it pretty good. The problem is, if you wear bifocals like I do, in my opinion this isn't big enough, but if you wear bifocals, in order to see up close you have to use the bottom lenses. So I have to tilt my head up, which tilts this up. Okay. I can't see myself anymore, but so my memory card just filled up, so I'm using a different camera now. So hopefully this one will keep recording for me. Okay. So, in order to see properly, I have to tilt my head up, and it doesn't work with that very well, because there's such a small area to actually see through. So that's why I bought a separate pair of glasses that I use with it just for welding, just for seeing up close. And I don't have an issue with that. But it's nice, it's fine. As soon as you start welding, it automatically dims for you and everything. So it's good that way. So I got a comment from not so polite person when I was doing the first video, I think it was, when they asked me to stop going through the drive-thru at Timmy's, and somebody commented, "You're not disabled, you're just a gamer." That pissed me off, but I let it go. I ignored it. So one of you guys, Edwin, responded, "Just because I obviously have a greater intellect than you is no reason to lash out. Have a good day." That made my day when I read that. That's a brilliant response. Thank you for making my day. I laughed when I saw that. So unfortunately, I don't always get notices from people commenting. He actually commented twice. I only got one. The other one, I don't remember what it was. It was something like, "Don't be lazy, get off and walk in." So the people that make comments like this, they don't know the whole situation. They see, whatever. They have their own opinions on things, and then they assume or whatever. They're just being pricks. So I already explained why I was driving through the drive-thru to begin with, because I can't get off and walk in because I can't get up their friggin' wheelchair ramp because there's cars parked on it, right? So it's just people see what they want to see, and they don't see anything else. So, that response just made my day. Thank you for that. So, I don't even go to Timmy's anymore anyways. I go to McDonald's now. I got lots of parking options for me. And I never have an issue. I walk in every time. Right? So, another update, I mentioned that I get the seniors discount there. So it turns out it's not just on Sundays, it's every day. So that's pretty cool. So I get cheap coffee now. $1.65. Nice. If I go out at night, like if we get a snowstorm or something and I want to go out at night to get it on video, I'll have to go to Timmy's because McDonald's isn't open 24 hours. Oh, excuse me. It's coming back again. But that won't be an issue because there won't be cars parked there. So I won't have an issue then. But for now, for the main part, I'll just be going to McDonald's. Cheaper coffee anyways. And it's just as good. So I have a medical question for you guys. I am really confused by something. I had this big mole on my back. So when I'm working on the Monster shirtless, you can see it, this big brown spot, right? And it gets really super itchy sometimes, especially when I'm sweating. Well, this summer, it changed. The edges got really rough, and pieces of it were kind of peeling off. Because I don't scratch it, I just kind of rub it. And when I rub the edges, little pieces were coming off, which was kind of concerning to me a little bit. But the whole mold just kind of fell off. I've had this for years. I don't remember when I noticed it, but I've had it for years, at least 10 years. And like there's still a brown circle on my back where it was. It's not completely gone, but the part that was sticking up, it just fell off. It just peeled off. Why? What does that mean? Anybody have any experience with that? I can't figure it out, and I can't find any information on the internet about it. It makes no sense. It just fell off. I didn't know moles went away like that. That's just weird. So that, like I say, the spot's still on my back where it was, so it'll probably come back, but it doesn't itch anymore. Hey, it's just kind of weird. So I've been trying different ways of doing my videos. Some of you have been asking for, normal speed and whatever without music. So I've done it different ways. I do my regular tour, high speed. I do regular tour without the music, just the natural sound. And I've done a regular tour with music. The regular tour with the music is obviously the one that takes the longest because I got to search for a lot of music to put in it. It has advantages because when I do my regular tour, it's always the same route, and I always have to use the same length of music, and it's hard finding stuff that's, the same length that I haven't already used. So when I do a regular tour, or a regular speed, then I can pick different places, to transition from one music to the next. And it's easier that way. It's just more time consuming. So the problem I have with doing regular speed tours, it turns out to be a longer video, and the longer videos take a long time to render. So it's, in my yeah, it's kind of a weird noise. It's quiet in here because the Monster's charger stopped. So I'm hearing something else. It's so quiet now. I don't know what that is. It almost sounds like a water pump. But anyways, my computer is just slowed down. I'm limited to what I can do during that time. So the good advantage to doing the regular speed is I don't need to use the image stabilizer. I only use the image stabilization when I do the high speed because it's stable enough as it is. So I don't have to do it on the longer ones, which is good. Because doing the stabilization almost takes as long as rendering the video does, so I can save on that. But I'm not sure. I'll probably just do a mix of stuff. I'm gonna show today's snow tour probably at the high speed. I don't know yet. We'll find out. So, but no matter which way I do it, the high speed videos, YouTube cheapens them. So I had comment that they're viewing at 360p, which is not good because, I upload at 1080p. And when I do the high speed, when I'm going, all these trees blowing past me, there's a lot of, it's a high bit rate. And I use all the settings that YouTube suggests using, but they still, when they process it, when you upload a video, they process it themselves. And it cheapens them. it lowers the quality to the point where everything's pixelated and it looks blurry. That's not my videos, that's YouTube's processing of them that does it. It pisses me off sometimes, because something that looks really, really good, and then, you know, watch it on YouTube and it's cheap and it looks like crap. But there's nothing I can do about that. Like I say, I use all the settings that they suggest using. I've tried different ways and it just, I don't get it. So here's something interesting. I was talking to Reg the other day, and I got talking about the seniors discount, and we got talking about, you know, the birthdays and that. I'm 55, born in 67. He's 67, born in 55. That was kind of interesting statistic. I don't know if that's a statistic or not, but interesting fact, I guess. How the numbers just kind of work out that way. I thought that was kind of... I wanted to mention that last time, I forgot. So, I got a question for anybody out there that is good with physics. I was sitting down at the river, one of the nice days that I was out. I don't remember what day that was. And a fish jumped. There's some pretty... Actually, no. There's some pretty big fish in that river, and they'll jump every once in a while, make a big splash. But this one here, when I got looking at it, something really big under the water moved, and it created a disturbance in the water, a rather large disturbance, so it was pretty big, whatever it was. But I'm watching it, and all these ripples are just kind of going, working their way down the river. So, it lasted a long time. So, you're thinking, if you throw a stone in the water, you get one splash, and you got like 1,000 ripples that come out and just work their way. Why do you get so many ripples like that? Now, why isn't it just like you get one shockwave from the rock hitting the water, and then the water comes back again? I could see like maybe 2 or 3. Why do you get like 1,000 ripples from it? Physics question for you. It's kind of neat. I was sitting there, I just watched it. It's like, it's all like, it was a really calm day. There was no wind, and the water was like a mirror. It was so calm, and then all these little ripples going through it. It was kind of hypnotizing. I sat there and just watched it as it worked its way down the river. It was pretty cool watching it, but it just made me think, why are there so many ripples from one disturbance? It's kind of interesting. So, let's talk about the monster. What still needs to be done now that winter is here? Still haven't put my fenders on. Still haven't changed my headlight. Still haven't figured out why the front wheels are wobbling. And I still haven't got my lights working. So, my illness came back. It wasn't as dramatic this year. It's worse. It's bad. It's really bad. But it wasn't a sudden crash like I usually have. Making sure it's still recording. I'm using the camera that likes to shut down on me. So, I don't know if I'm going to get anything done. I really need to put that rear fender on. I don't want salt spraying all over the place. The headlight that's on there works, it's just not, you know, what it should be. And as long as I don't go out at night. I got my bumper light, I got my strobe light on the back, tail light still works. The actual headlights work. So I'm okay, I just don't have that 360 degree lighting like I used to. So I'm a little more cautious about going out at night. But now that it's cold, I don't know, if I'm going to be able to get anything done or not. But it's just to the point now, I'm not going out much. So up until that last nice day that we had from Hurricane Nicole, I hadn't gone out in 4 days. Until, I don't know what to expect. I don't know if I'm going to get anything done. I can put this on my waterproof case, because it's just unscrew the bolt that's in there and put this on and screw the note back in, right? That's not a big deal. But everything else, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to be able to do. Because I don't have the energy to do anything. I don't even have the desire to go out right now. So, and when I went out today, like my batteries drained pretty quick. You know, being cold, below freezing now. But they never really they never got their full capacity. They never fully woke up. So I don't have the full capacity that I normally would with these batteries, these specific batteries, same batteries I had last time. So I don't know what to expect this winter as far as range goes when it gets super cold and driving through deep snow or whatever. So I'm not sure what to expect. So I don't know. But I'm still working on my project videos. I changed my schedule again because it's really difficult for me to actually make videos right now. So I changed it so I can make shorter videos. So instead of Tuesday, what did I have? Tuesdays and Fridays, I think, were my project videos. So they got like 2 days between and then 5 days between. So you get like two quick videos and then you gotta wait for another. So I changed it. It's Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays now. I'll have them. So there's only 2 day gap, right? Maximum. And the reason I did that is because I can make shorter videos. They're easier for me to do. I don't take as much time going through everything. Time that I don't have right now. Or the energy to actually sit through that. I'm getting uncomfortable. I'm sitting too long here. So I think that's the way I'm going to do it now. Because then I can have 3 videos out per week with not as much of a gap in between. Plus they'll be shorter, which will be easier for me to actually make them. So I'm gonna try that for a while until I finish off with what I've already got. 'Cause there's a lot of stuff I haven't even showed you yet. So hopefully that'll work. So I've been told to get rid of the monster, cut my losses, and find something new. Well, unfortunately I can't do that. I still owe on the monster. I'll be paying till May. I'm under $1,000 now left to pay, which is good. But I can't, I can't get anything new right now, because 1, I'm still paying for that, and 2, I don't have any credit anymore. My credit took a nosedive. So I can't even get once I finish paying for the monster, I can't even get a loan to get it. And I certainly can't even get a used one. I can't come up with the money to get a used one even. So the reason I got the monster to begin with was I had the S950. I have an issue with it. I didn't have any problems with it. But when I saw the monster, I saw opportunity. Unfortunately, I went by looks, because I really liked how it looked, and that's what sold me on it, just its appearance. And it's being branded as an all-terrain vehicle. Everybody's, you can pretty much drive it anywhere and all this, not realizing how fragile it is. But I couldn't find any reviews on it. If I had seen reviews and the problems that people have with it, then I not likely would have locked myself into a 7-year loan to get it. So, and that's why I'm still paying for it, because I couldn't just buy it outright. It's like $7,200 price tag. I couldn't just fork out that much money, right? I don't have that much money. So I had to finance it. And on a 7-year loan, there's so much interest. By the time it's finished, it's over $10,000 I'll be paying for it. That's why it's taken so long to pay for it. Because it's such a long loan to bring it down to payments that I can actually afford. But I saw it as an opportunity. I didn't have my car anymore. I wanted to get out to the conservation area, and just to get there wouldn't be enough. I need to actually drive the scooter in the trails. So the Monster's perfect for that, right? That's why I did all the modifications to it. That's why I added the second set of batteries. But the problem is, as far as warranty goes, I put a trailer hitch on it. Like, that, to me, that's not an excuse to void the warranty. They make trailers for scooters. And like I've explained before, the accessory port on the back of the seat that you normally plug these trailers into is not accessible on the Monster because the roll bar is in the way. So I had to put my own trailer hitch on, and that's what voided my warranty. The dealer saw that in one of my videos. So, but the problem is it was only a 1-year warranty anyways, and the real issues never started till after the warranty. So even if I didn't, I still had the warranty. It wouldn't have made any difference. Now, I still wouldn't have been able to send it back. But some of the problems, like I've explained this before, but I'm talking about it. The frame breaking was my fault. I see it as my fault because I put the extra batteries on the actual roll bar. And it's just the way the Monster's designed. The whole roll bar system, all those bars, they're connected at the hinge. And everything else comes to one single point, 90-degree point actually, inside the Monster. That's where it broke. All that force, it's trying to twist on the hinge, and all that force was on that one little point, and the actual steel ripped. So it's my fault for putting extra stress on it, but at the same time, it's a bad design. And like I say, almost all of the problems I've had with the Monster have nothing to do with anything I've done with it, or anything I do with it. None of my modifications affected anything or caused any of the issues that I have, and none of the driving that I do attributes to anything. It's all just cheap crap, like you saw with the fender brackets, paper thin frickin' steel that I can't even weld because it disintegrates. That's got nothing to do with me. That's just cheap crap that they use, cheap materials, and bad designs. They just, lights aren't working right now because the stupid wires corroded. They don't have waterproof plugs on them. It's just, yeah. But like I say, I bought the Monster for a specific purpose. Like I say, not expecting it to be as fragile as it is. It can't handle its own abilities, right? So that's why I bought the Monster in the first place. And to be honest, I love it. I get sick of fixing it. It's not reliable. And like I say, everybody that follows my channel that has one has the same problems I have. It's got nothing to do with the way I'm driving or modifying anything. I modify it to make it better, to make it more reliable, and make it easier to fix next time it breaks. That's why I'm doing these modifications. Like the fender brackets, I had to make my own fender brackets because I couldn't fix the cheap crap that was on there, so I put real steel on, thicker. It's not going to break again unless I hit something with it. Then it's my fault. But it's just bad design issues, and I get tired of getting blamed for it all the time. New viewers, I understand. Now, you haven't watched all my videos from way back when I first got the Monster, to see these issues, how they've developed. You're only seeing it now, and you're seeing all the stuff that I modified in that, and you're just assuming that I'm causing the problems. I'm not. Talk to anybody that has a Monster. They're garbage machines. They're cheaply built. Like I said before, I think they were just rushed on the market without actual testing. Not real testing. And drive it around a parking lot. Yep, it works. Right? But like I say, I love it. I don't want to get rid of it because it's kind of my brand now. Right? That's what made my channel. But like I said, I just get tired of fixing the same things over and over and over. It gets so annoying so quick. But that's why I bought the Monster. That's why I still had the Monster, and that's why I can't get another scooter. Well, right now anyways. The money's just not there. You know? So I guess that's it. And that's one of the reasons I started making these videos, to show people, because like I said, when I bought the Monster, there's no reviews anywhere. There's a few out there now, but very, very hard to find. So I make these videos so you can see what the Monster can do when it's working, and what the issues are, you know, so you actually get to see what the Monster's like. And just keep in mind, if you drive light duty occasionally, you're still going to have the same problems. It might take longer for them to develop, but they're still going to be there. And there are people that have had worse problems than I have, you know, that don't drive the way I drive. And like I've explained before, it's like I want to enjoy life while I still can, because I know the day's coming when I'm not going to be able to. And I actually thought that happened last year. I actually watched that, and it was kind of emotional for me to, you know, to watch that, because I just, everything just came together on me all at once, and I just got to the point where I can't do this anymore. But then the next summer came along, which was this past summer, and my illness went away, and I got, you know, the ability to do things again. And this year, I didn't get that massive crap storm that I usually get. There were things that happened, but it was very, very mild compared to, you know, what usually happens. So I got lucky this time. But like I say, like my illness didn't come crashing down on me all of a sudden this year like it normally does. Probably because I wasn't doing anything really at the time to, you know, kind of rush it in. But it is here now. It came in gradually, but it's really bad this year. So I really can't do much anything right now. And as far as the government paying for parts, I was asked about that. Yes, the government pays for repair parts, but only if I get them from the dealer. If I buy a package of bolts from Amazon, they don't cover that. They only cover stuff that goes through the dealer, licensed dealer. And I have to fix things on my own because, you know, my dealer's too far away. They're, what was it, 160 kilometers away, something like that. And in order for him to come pick it up, they charge per hour, they charge per kilometer, then there's the repair charge, and then they pay again to, you know, bring it back, or charge again to bring it. It's too excessive. ODSP won't pay it. So I cannot take my Monster to a dealer to get it fixed properly because I can't afford it, and ODSP doesn't pay for it. But if I buy parts from them, they pay for the parts. They don't pay for the shipping. I have to pay for the shipping myself, but they will pay for the parts from the dealer. But anything I buy on my own, you know, like bolts and stuff, inner tubes, they don't pay for that. So that's why I have to fix it myself. That's why I modify things to make them easier to fix next time, because I know there's going to be a next time. So I do what I need to do. Like the steering bearings, oh, they were such a pain. I couldn't figure out how to get them apart. I had to cut them because the shaft goes in and it's welded at the bottom, but the bearings at the bottom have to come in from the bottom. How do you get that shaft? I couldn't figure it out. So I had to cut it and make my own parts. So next time I need to change the bearings, I'm able to change them myself without trying to figure out what's going on there. So stuff like that I have to modify. I have to. I don't have a choice. I have to fix it myself, therefore I have to modify it so I can fix it myself. That's what all the modifications are about. Some of them are just for, you know, pleasure, like putting the light bar on, you know, extra lights in that. That's not a requirement, but that just makes things simpler, makes it easier for the camera to see what's going on. But for the most part, I'm just fixing things so I can, or modifying things so I can fix and replace easier next time. So, anyway, I guess that's about it. I'm getting really stiff sitting here. I've been sitting here too long. I gotta go in. So I think I've caught up on everything now. I'm really sorry about not being able to, get to my comments, but like I say, I do see them. If there's something urgent or something, then I can try to jump in. I actually, when I read through them last night, really quickly, just to see if I had everything that I needed to cover today, I did actually respond to a couple of them, but for the most part, it's just too much. It's just too many. So I don't have the time right now, unfortunately. So hopefully I can just do videos like this where I talk about them. I can do them more often. Like I say, I just haven't been going out. I have no energy to get out of bed now. So things are really slow down for me now. And I don't know if I'm gonna get to anything on the monster this year, or if I'll have to wait till spring. I don't know. I don't know. My priority is getting that fender on, just so keep the salt spray from coating everything. So I guess that's it. All I'll be able to do, if I can even do that. I don't know. I still got to clean the garage up. I still got to put everything away. So, anyway, I guess that's all I got. That's a rather long update this time, but I think I've covered everything. You made it this far. Thanks for watching.